Hey guys, I'm back. Listen, I just got done watching this episode a couple hours ago, and I wrote down everything I wanted to mention, but honestly, I'm not even going to go through the episode bit by bit, like how I start at the beginning and work my way through. I'm just going to take it a character at a time and tell you guys certain things that I find necessary to talk about. Okay, so if I forget something, I forget it. Plain and simple. But these are the things that I really just felt the need to talk about. We're just going to start with Hannah. Little Miss Hannah, I mean, she is in deep doo doo. She really is. We all pretty much knew that this was what was going on. A was pretty much framing her the entire flippin' time. I mean, seriously. When Hannah got arrested, and I have this written down, she was being interrogated by Lieutenant Tanner, and the gun that was on Hannah was a 38 caliber revolver. It could hold 6 bullets, but there were only 4 bullets in there, so there were 2 missing. And she could be charged with a third-degree felony for up to a 7-year sentence. So Hannah is really just going through so much. And then they're going to end up testing the gun. They ended up testing the gun to see if it was the gun that killed Wilden. Then, of course, Hannah's dad's now in the picture, and he's furious. He's livid. He goes up to Hannah, and he's all pretty much like, where did you get the gun? Where did you find it? I mean, did you steal it from me? What's going on? And Hannah's like, no, I didn't. I found it in Mom's closet. Then her mom is all confused, like, I don't know how the gun got there. And that's when it really clicks. A is the one who set this whole entire thing up. Hannah fell into the trap. Like, all these girls have fallen into a trap every once in a while. I mean, yes, we've talked about this in the comments section, you guys. Hannah is the one who pretty much, she just, I don't know. She seems to be the one who doesn't really think as clearly as the other three. And I mean, I know that might come off as a bit harsh, but we have seen that in past situations, and that it is what it is. And I feel really bad for her for that. But that happened, and look, I'm just going to get to the main part of this episode. Hannah's mom does get arrested. She does get arrested at the end, and she basically says, you know, I love you, and she leaves. She asks Hannah's dad to look after Hannah, and gosh, crazy. But to me, Hannah's storyline is the high point of this episode because, I mean, they've been dragging this out for so long. It's about time something happened. I know it sounds harsh to say it that way, but that's the truth. Moving on. Now, connected to Hannah is what happens to Emily. Emily, she talks to Hannah about everything, and she's the one who's trying to convince Hannah to talk to her parents and tell them about A. But Hannah doesn't do that because, and I have it written down, Hannah receives a text message from A that says, "You bark, I bite. Say my name, they both get the blame. Kisses, A." So basically, A is saying, if you even mention me at all to your parents, both your parents are going down. And Hannah does not want that to happen. So with Emily, the way she's connected to Hannah is like this. She gets the chip that has the information, the incriminating evidence with Hannah's mom hitting Wilden, but also the evidence of Jenna and Shauna picking Wilden up in that police video. Now, this happens before something significant happens with Emily. And I thought about it at the time because when Hannah went to go get the chip, I'm sitting there thinking something's not right. Something bad is now going to happen to Emily. Because think about it. A got into the house and put the gun in Hannah's mom's closet. Who's to say A couldn't have gone in there to get the chip and switch it out with something, which is what happened. Okay? And I mean, honestly, if I were Hannah, let's be real. A knows everything. A knows where things are located. A knows this. A knows that. Hannah could have simply had that thing on her 24/7. I mean, I don't know, could have put a sensor on it or something. But no, she didn't do all of that. And then what's actually on the chip that Emily leaves at the police station is incriminating evidence that points towards Emily. It is a young lady in a red coat, hair that looks like Emily's, wearing a mask. And I believe, if I'm correct, the mask it looks just like Emily because remember, Emily went to Hector and had her face cast and mask. You guys get what I'm saying. And the person's holding up a sign that says guilty. And I'm just thinking to myself, you gotta be kidding me. Not Emily. She's the smart one. Well, she's one of the smart ones. So now she is in deep doo-doo. Oh, also connected to Emily, Shauna now goes to Rosewood High. She left her private school, and she's now on the swim team. She pretty much took Emily's spot because Emily's shoulder is messed up. Okay, let's go with Aria. Aria, her storyline pissed me off to no end. Let me tell you, honey. Her brother in the last episode made me so mad. With what he said about her and Mr. Fitz, and I'm like, that is your family. I'm sorry if you disagree with me on this, guys, but you should be protecting your family. I understand that there are family members that, you may not be able to stand or you can't understand their situation, but at the same time, family is family. And when you have your own peers talking crap about your sister, you need to stand up and say, look, leave my family alone. And that did eventually happen. He did tell Arya he was sorry for everything because there's a character named Connor, and Connor and Arya's brother know each other. And Connor wanted Arya's help with an English paper, and then he goes and kisses Arya, and Arya's like, I'm not interested in you like that, or anything. And then he goes to school and tells his friends that they did more than that. And she gets upset, and he basically calls her a slut. And then, of course, Arya's brother comes into the picture, and he's like, I'm really sorry. I should have protected you. We're family. And I mean, just this whole thing with Arya, I feel so bad for her because she was in her bed crying about this. And her brother, he should have known better. He should have known better. Okay, let's go to Mona. She showed up and she she pretty much dropped a bomb, which made Arya and Emily not like Spencer for a little while, okay? Because you already know Spencer and Emily got into a little bit of an altercation, a verbal altercation in the last episode. Well, my darlings, let me tell you. Mona shows up and she says, look, I was gone for so long because I was looking for the RV, but Spencer already knew where it was, and she already knew that Toby is the one who took it. Arya and Emily do not believe Mona for a second, but then Spencer confirms it, and they're both like, you've got to be kidding me. That RV was our ticket. It was our key. It had all this stuff in it. Why would Toby do that? But we all know why Toby did do that. Then Spencer and Toby go to see the den mother that was mentioned in the last episode that was involved with the sorority. And Spencer is convinced that she was the one who was talking to Allie on that phone in that secret room because the sorority sisters said, yeah, she used to disappear for hours. So then she and Toby pretty much travel to Ravenswood and they're looking for her. They can't find her. This place is like the dark side of Rosewood. It's creepy. There are like ravens everywhere, just very interesting. And when they pretty much kind of given up in a way, not really, Spencer, she's like a go-getter. She's all, we gotta find out what's going on and all this stuff. Well, she sees the old lady, and I call her Miss G, okay? That's just how I call her. I call her Miss G, even though that's not what they call her in the show. She sees her at the beauty salon. She talks to her. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then all that stuff happens. Then Spencer leaves the beauty shop and she overhears music. And she goes, and there's like this little monument that people have walked to. And she sees Shauna. So she runs back to go see Toby. She says, Shauna's here. Jenna pulls up. Shauna jumps in the car. They peel off, like trying to get away from Spencer and Toby, because obviously they saw them. And as soon as Spencer and Toby get in their vehicle, a raven comes down and like hits the freaking windshield, and they get out of the car, and the poor baby's dead. I'm like, this is animal abuse. This is just terrible. Although I know no birds were harmed in the making of this show, but I felt really sad. I was like, oh, poor baby. But it's probably a sign of like, mind your own business. Don't come up in here acting like you know everything. At least that's what I caught from it. And oh, another thing I want to mention about Hannah, her parents ended up taking her phone and her internet away. And when Caleb showed up to her house to kind of figure out what's going on and confront her, her dad pretty much is like, get out, don't want to talk to you right now. And I felt so bad for Caleb because he's been trying to help and protect Hannah this entire time, and he pretty much gets like shoved out. Gosh, like I said, this episode I feel really did bring a lot of interesting things to light. There are certain things that I have noticed about certain characters, and I mean, this is not my opinion part, guys. I'm done with the review. I hope you guys liked it. I tried something a little bit different. I actually went character by character. Do you guys prefer I do it that way? Kind of like do each character's storyline, and besides like reviewing the entire thing in sequence? Oh no, I kind of liked it that way because I kind of like connected certain things together. What is this? But anyway, my point is, was it just me or did Toby look like a doll in the car with Spencer? He looked like a Ken doll for a split second. I was like, he looks like he's made of plastic. And that sounds so weird, but I mean, he did. He really did. Spencer. She seems a little too forgiving to me. You know what I mean? Like when Toby's apologizing again about the RV, I just keep thinking, wow, I don't know. I know he was always trying to protect Spencer and the girls when he was, on the A team, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know. Mona, I feel like she still has some skeletons in the closet. Like she hasn't told absolutely 100% everything. Melissa, she wasn't in this episode. I don't think she was even mentioned. I don't think. But with her, I don't blame her for getting out of the country, but that's just me. Hannah's parents. I do feel terrible that her mom has been arrested because honestly, the way they set everything up, it made it look like she was guilty. And they could probably still get her for something when you think about it, because I believe what she said when Hannah's dad asked her about the gun. She said she had it with her for protection, and I think she mentioned there was like a slight struggle with the gun with Wilden, but she did not shoot him. It did not fire or anything. So it's kind of like, well, why were you there? And then I know A probably has copies of the tape where she hit him. There is evidence to show that she did do something physically to him. She did not kill him, but she did something physically to him. You guys get what I'm saying? So they could potentially get her for something else. I really hope Hannah doesn't get that 7-year sentence. That would really, really suck. But she was so stupid for having that gun with her on a college campus and not really knowing everything. She saw a gun, she saw a weapon, and she freaked out. She should have given that gun back to her dad. Yes, it was the gun that shot Wilden. We know that for a fact after they did the testing on it. But I have no idea. I'm getting so sick and tired of seeing Shauna. I am. Like, it's like she shows up in these episodes over time but doesn't really do anything incredibly significant. And I'm getting to the point where I'm like, can we just have her do something so we know what's going on? I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that way, but that's just how I feel. Anyone else? Aria, I really hope she and her brother form a better bond now over all the stuff that has been happening. I really hope that Emily does not get charged with something. I really hope she doesn't. It's very unfortunate what happened. I already mentioned Spencer and Toby. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say. This review is a lot longer than my last one, but I feel like I enjoyed doing this review a lot better because it was kind of a mixture of me telling you guys what happened character by character, but also giving my opinion as I was doing it. It's not like you guys have to wait till the very end, and I'm always switching up the way I do these, but I like to kind of keep it a little bit fresh for you guys. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. This is pretty quick for me to get another video up because I am notorious, and I apologize for this. I am notorious for like uploading the video Monday or the next Tuesday, and it's Wednesday, the day after this episode aired, and I am proud of myself. So hope you guys enjoyed this review. Like I said, let's have that conversation. Let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear your opinions on the show, what you think of certain characters. You guys know what to do. So take care, everybody. See you later.